Good afternoon, and we welcome you to this special interview with the chairman of FICCI CASCADE, Mr. Anil Rajput. Today, he is going to talk to us about the movement against counterfeit and smuggling that FICCI CASCADE has been carrying out since years. He's going to tell us about what FICCI CASCADE is, how does it work, and the events that they come up with, where they discuss about this issue of smuggling and counterfeit that is destroying the economy of the country. Welcome to this interview, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for talking to me. It's my privilege,
Thank you, sir.
pleasure to talk to you.
Sir, we would like to start with this. That please tell us about the beginning of FICCI CASCADE. How did it come about, and what is the role of FICCI CASCADE?
See, FICCI Cascade, we started in the year 2011. See, India, as you know, was closed economy till 1991. And we had Hindu rate of growth in the country. The consumerism that you see today was not there because the paying capacity of the people was very limited. Aspirations were also not there. After liberalization in 1991, over the years, disposable income grew. Overall exposure of people also increased because international travel, which was far and few, also increased. That actually was very good for our country and our economy and our people. But this also brought in a new challenge for the industry, especially the legal industry. Many people wanted to aspire goods that were foreign made, and many of them were not available in India. It initially started as a very small ticket issue, but as country started to do well, this menace started to increase. When we saw the growth of huge amount of smuggling of various goods in the country, we thought that one day it will begin to hurt the legal industry in the country. And therefore, we have to create a very focused group which will work in sensitizing people about the ill effects of smuggling and counterfeit goods in the country. With that thought, FICCI Cascade was given birth, and since then we have been relentlessly working in sensitizing all stakeholders in this issue. And I'm happy to say that we have made very huge progress in this space. People are aware about the ill effects of this trade. What are the various challenges that you face because of this, and what consequences we may have in the short, medium, and long term because of this. But still, we have only scratched the surface of it.
Okay.
It is only tip of the iceberg that we have kind of sensitized. As a long journey, we have a long way to go.
Right. So, you have been coming up with a lot of such movements, such events, or say a platform where forces, especially the police forces, are discussing about the counterfeit and smuggling, the countering of smuggling and counterfeit. You also have the paramilitary forces who participate and talk about the work that they are doing on the borders and how they are preventing the illegal trade. So, please tell us more about it.
See, India, as you know, has porous borders. And these porous borders create multiple challenges for India. We have infiltration happening in the country to destabilize our country. Now, destabilization happens in multiple ways. One is that you have terrorists entering your country and coming and doing all kinds of activities to fulfill their evil design. But at the same time, there are forces which want to disturb your economic growth.
Yes.
And to disturb and destabilize your country from the economic perspective is another challenge that our country is facing. People who are not happy with the rise of India's economic power, they fuel smuggled goods in the country because every country requires resources. And resources can be raised only through the legitimate economy. It cannot be raised through the illicit economy. If we have to become a prosper India, we have to become a developed India, we need huge amount of money to invest in our social sector, in our schools, in our colleges, in building roads, ports, so that we have a superior infrastructure to do more trade and commerce. And that is possible only if state gets enough revenue from the legal resources.
Yes.
Okay. Illegal resources would never contribute to state exchequer. So many people who are not happy with our growth story, they find different ways to push several products into the country. And our innocent consumers, without realizing how it damages their own future, end up indulging in buying these products.
Yes.
They may make a short term gain by buying these products which seem to them may be very cheap, but it is ultimately they are going to pay a very high price for this very small gain because smuggling is a not giving the due revenue that our country is due to get. Smuggling is done by many unscrupulous people. Antisocial elements are normally doing smuggling. You don't find right thinking people seeking that as a profession to do smuggling. It is only people who are, uh, bent of mind, which is not straight, would get into the smuggling part. So when you have antisocial elements getting huge amount of money, what will they do with that money? They will only promote antisocial activities.
Yes.
Okay. When they promote antisocial activities, Government of India has to spend more money to maintain law and order for the country because they are the ones who are creating several challenges for our society. Okay. So it's a huge problem, and we need to sensitize more and more people on this.
Right. Right. So we've also seen that a lot of seizures take place by the paramilitary forces like BSF, especially at the Indo-Bangladesh border, where you see that a lot of smuggling activities are busted. So likewise for police, they carry out a lot many such raids where counterfeit goods and products are seized. So you also have the police officers who are a part of this movement. So how are they helping you in shaping the ideas and carrying out this movement?
You see, our paramilitary forces are doing great job. They have multiple challenges. Now, their priorities also keep changing
Yes.
because uh, catching a smuggler is not their primary role.
True.
Protecting our borders, maintaining peace and tranquility in the country is their primary role. So we have to go and sensitize and interact with them and get their buy-in that how they will be doing the same very job more effectively when they reduce the number of antisocial elements increasing in the country.
Yes.
If there are more antisocial elements, their job will be even more challenging. And the money that they are making is going to create more disruption in our country. So when you engage with them, they understand this. So people who are engaged with us in this think tank, they are now much more appreciative of what we are doing and what we are saying than when they were not aware of all these things. So when you go and have exchange of ideas, you share information about these issues with them. There is a greater value that you derive both for them and for the cascade.
Right. Yes. So you also come up with this masquerade event every year, annually it is held. So please tell us what is it about and what role does it play in this moment?
You see, masquerade is a movement against smuggling and counterfeit trade. This idea came after 2-3 years of Cascade in being. Because this challenge we learned was not only limited to India.
Yes.
This is a global menace. Globally, countries are facing terrorist activities. They are facing illicit financial flow, the illicit movement of money taking place from one country to another country. At the moment, in the recent report of 2023, 2.2 trillion worth of illicit market exists in the world.
Okay.
So there is a huge amount of learning that people all over the globe have. And we thought that it is important enough for us to create a platform where we exchange ideas, we learn from each other, and see how together we can make a difference to the world. Masquerade, we have many international participants who come, many speakers from international organizations, whether it is Interpol, World Custom Organization, World Intellectual Property Organization, USPTO, JETRO, all these organizations come together and share their experience about this. So that's how Masquerade came, and with every passing year, I'm happy to share that delegates' response is improving. Speakers, many more speakers are coming and sharing their ideas. And we are making a mark for ourselves, not only at the national level, but internationally. People are recognizing our effort in this space.
Sir, what is your opinion on this particular crime, and what is your advice, or say what is your experience telling you, and what more is required to counterfeit and smuggling?
See, we live in a dynamic world. Legal industry, governments, international organizations which are working in this space are constantly trying to do more and more. But even the people who have evil design, they are generally ahead of it. Whether it is cybercrime, whether it is darknet, all these things that you see are always ahead of the legal industry. If you bring in a change, then they see how they can break that change and continue to benefit for themselves. Because it is not one action that can deliver results. It requires multiple actions because It is a multifaceted approach that can only help solve this problem. We have been sharing our ideas and experience with the policymakers because it requires whole of nation, whole of world approach to address this menace.
Yes.
And ultimately, the victory can come only when the consumer begins to realize that they don't want to buy illicit goods.
Yes.
And from Cascade, we have always tried to create awareness amongst the consumers because at the end of the day, consumer is the real key.
True.
And consumer has to realize that if you are paying full value for a product, you get full value for yourself. And that can only come when you buy genuine products. Because somebody who is selling you duplicate stuff or a fake product, he is not giving you the right genuine inputs in that product. So it's not you are gaining, you are also going to lose. Just imagine, I'm going to give you one small example. You go and buy medicine for yourself, and that medicine happened to be a fake medicine.
Yeah.
You paid full price for that medicine, and you are not going to get cured with a fake medicine. It is sometimes can be life threatening. And this realization has to come to the consumer. We continue to work with consumers, continue to sensitize them, and we always say that minimum a consumer can do to help themselves is to ask for a bill every time you make a purchase, because nobody would easily give you a bill for a fake product.
True.
You can protect your right if you have a bill.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good experience with a product, you can go and take that manufacturer or a retailer to a task.
True.
You can go to consumer court and protect your interest. If you don't do it, you will lose, nation will lose, industry will lose, people will lose their jobs over a period of time. Smuggling is a very big menace. In smuggling, not only you lose exchequer money, not only illicit players create a network of terror for your country, you export the entire value chain of that product to another country.
Yeah.
That country is gaining at the cost of your country.
Correct.
You exported jobs, you exported input prices, you exported all value addition to that country. So in my view, smuggling is a much bigger menace for the country than counterfeiting also.
Right, sir. Rightly said, sir. So, with this, we would like to end our interview with Mr. Anil Rajput, and thank you so much for talking to us, sir, and highlighting the work of FICCI CASCADE and enlightening us with the various measures and policy making that you are doing for the country to save the economy from counterfeit and smuggling activities. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ulula. Thank you very much for coming and sharing our thoughts with you.
Thank you, sir.